So the first is posting on LinkedIn. And this is definitely an anecdotal experience for me, but in what I was able to get was after just a few posts for a few days in a row, I was able to get a client inquiry right away without having much of a LinkedIn following. And I was able to convert them about a month later with, very little posting. I was surprised actually that I was able to generate interest that quickly, but of course, this is not, you shouldn't go and start a whole business around this tomorrow, but you would probably be surprised at the amount of organic reach that you're able to get on LinkedIn with just a little bit of effort and being somewhat consistent. I was able to convert them at a pretty high ticket for a project, and we're going to be doing some ongoing work as well in advertising. But there are many opportunities on LinkedIn, and like I said, the organic reach is very generous. And anybody that goes on LinkedIn can fairly frequently will probably notice that the quality of content is usually not that high. So if you can just put a little bit of effort in and just put yourself out there, make sure that your posts don't look like a straight up ad, you're probably going to get some engagement. And since you're competing with things that are not that high quality, you're probably going to do pretty well. And if at the least it reminds people that you exist, then it's already worth it, right? But it's not just me saying this. Gary Vee has been saying this for a very long time. Matt Gray, I believe, he's doing really well on LinkedIn. He's got like 400 to 700,000 followers now on there. I don't remember the exact number, but it's a lot, and it's been in a fairly short amount of time. And they're telling everybody as well to get on LinkedIn. So I would definitely recommend it, and it did work for me with very little effort. And the next opportunity that I wanted to talk about was Threads. Now, I've already gone mini viral multiple times on it without even trying that hard. Not saying that you shouldn't try hard, but just that it wasn't my intention. I wasn't trying to go viral, and yet I was able to get some posts that would get 10,000 views with only having a few hundred followers, or even when I was still at 100 followers. And now I'm at 530 followers on Threads, thanks to just a few of those posts doing really well. And one thing that you definitely want to do with your posts on Threads is make sure to reply to every comment that you get. Even if it's just saying thank you for the support, whatever, it seems to reactivate the post for being shown in the feed. So in my experience, I would have a post that did really well, and I would get initial engagement. I'd respond to all the comments, like all the comments, and then the next day I would wake up and there'd be more comments. And by that time, the reach, I could tell, had started to die down, like the new reach or new comments. But then I went and replied to all of those comments that came from that night, and then it was like a fresh batch would come in right afterwards. So you definitely would want to just keep milking it for as much as you could, and just keep promoting your posts that way, just by being a good engager, a good commenter. And of course, that's going to help your brand equity in the long term by people seeing that you're actually responsive, that you actually appreciate the engagement that they're giving you. So it helps in that relationship aspect as well. And this had led to certain posts for me gaining followers for a week straight, which is very interesting given that Threads being sort of a subsidiary of Instagram, or related entity to Instagram, and Instagram is so short term, it's ridiculous. With Instagram, usually you have to make a new post every day or every other day in order to keep getting engagement. But with Threads, all you have to do is just reply to the people on your existing post, and it will keep getting engagement and keep getting reach. So it's very interesting and a good opportunity, without having to do a whole lot of extra effort just to get that reach. And now one of my favorite opportunities, which is Facebook ads. And they're great because they always work, and yet somehow everybody always thinks that they don't work. They're really nice because you get a 2-for-1. You get Facebook ads and Instagram ads. And if you work in or your business, or you would like to operate in other countries that use services a lot like WhatsApp, maybe in Central America or South America, WhatsApp is obviously gigantic. But for just North America, Facebook ads and Instagram ads are always working. And you get both at the same time. You get both from the same ads panel. And one tip, because I've been running those types of ads for a long time for clients as well as myself, and if your ad isn't getting the same result, getting some results within a few days, just cut it. You don't need to spend on it for 30 days to see results. You can absolutely learn how to run Facebook ads by yourself. It's not that complicated. It just takes time and iteration to improve. But it 100% works. I guarantee that it does work. If you can't make it work, that's your problem. If you think that it doesn't work, you're wrong. There's no other way to say it. You're just wrong. Everybody is on Facebook and Instagram. Even though you might not think that your customer's there, they're there. So just try to put that out of your mind and have that mindset that there is a way to make it work, but I just haven't solved that yet. Now, if you don't have the time or the energy to allocate to figure it out, then of course, go and hire somebody reputable. Don't just hire anybody, because there are a lot of people that they are good marketers for themselves maybe, but they are not good at actually delivering the service. So that's kind of why marketers always have such a bad reputation, right? Is that they are just known for, they're able to pull in new clients, but they are not great at keeping them. So they're just always churning really heavily, not getting good results for people. So you should try to figure it out yourself anyways, even if you're going to hire one in the future, because then it at least gives you some safety knowing what results to be happy with or not, and to know when somebody's kind of being a little bit dishonest. Like I just said, if they're telling you we just need to keep running the ads for a bit longer to see that it's working, a few days makes sense, but it shouldn't take a month for an ad to work. It works after a few days. Like basically Facebook or Instagram will just try to show, to find the right audience for that ad. It can happen that after a week, it finally finds the right people, but it's not normal. So after a couple of days, if it hasn't found somebody, then there's something wrong. Either you're not running enough budget through it to show it to enough people, or the ad is bad, the targeting is bad, there's an issue and you need to fix it. Like just reset, start again, and try something different. But yeah, like I said, you should try to learn it yourself so that you can properly work with an agency even still. Now, another opportunity, which is 3 or 4, I don't remember, but we'll make it through this list. So another opportunity, it's a boring one, but it is always necessary, and you're probably not doing a good job of it. I'm probably not doing a good job of it, but it is improving your customer service. Now, this could be done in many ways, but I'm sure you've had the same experience that I have, where you contact a business, whether it's an individual, a company, an air conditioning installer, whatever type of business it is. You contact them, you ask them questions. I had it happen with a car detailer not that long ago. You contact them, nobody ever contacts you back. It doesn't even matter if you're happy to pay a lot of money. They just won't answer you back. So don't be that guy. Actually respond to your inquiries. And some might say that, well, this happens when you're just overloaded in business, you can't even make it back to all the leads that you're getting because you're so high quality. Yeah, but I'm not going to try again. And other people are probably also not going to try again. So maybe you're doing well today because you have so many leads, but you're not going to do well in the long term because I'm not going to call your company again. It doesn't matter how good you were because now you annoyed me. So I'm just moving on and I'll figure something else out. I'll probably wash my car or clean my car myself before I call that company again because it's just a hassle. Answering faster. We've contacted companies. We would have a request for a proposal on a certain project. We get contacted back a week later, if at all. And yeah, it's just strange. What's the point of being in business? Actually being in business on the hours that your business says it will be open, or making sure that people know you're closed for this holiday but not that holiday. These are all parts of customer service that everybody needs to do better at. It's quite ridiculous that this even needs to be said, because this should just be part of running a business and just doing what you said you were going to do. Of course, mistakes happen, but is it a mistake if it's all the time? No, this is our practice that we need to fix. Also, still falling under customer service, things that we can improve. Qualify your leads and then answer more comprehensively. So some people, they will just not answer the leads, like I said before, because they're busy with other leads. But the reality is usually they're not qualifying enough, because if they were able to qualify enough, they'd realize the majority of these people are not people that they should be wasting time with, but they should at least be letting the person know why they're not answering or why they're not going to pursue that business much more. So they should qualify them first, set up a good lead qualification process, and then once that lead is qualified, answer really thoroughly. Be very helpful to that person, because then it just elevates your brand so much higher to know that this is a business that really knows what they're doing. And this next question, this next point is probably not as applicable to a normal mom and pop shop business, brick and mortar, but this would. So I talked to some freelance developers, freelance designers, and a lot of them are just afraid to even get on the phone. You should be organizing calls to get on with clients. You want to speak the language of your client. You want them to feel comfortable that they understand you. I see so many developers that are talking about how they don't get enough opportunities, they're not able to get jobs, they are not able to get new side gigs, and yet they just hang out with developers all day and just act like developers. They don't try to branch out into speaking to their ideal client. Your ideal client doesn't hang out in developer discords or forums. Your ideal client does their business. So you need to reach out to them and you need to speak their language. You need to understand why they're even hiring you, or why they would hire you in the first place. Some developers, they get a little bit maybe purist, a little bit purist, in that they think that they should just be able to focus on development all day and the latest frameworks and just enjoy making things. And that's nice, but it doesn't help you get clients. So if you want more clients, you have to do a little bit more marketing. And part of that requires getting on the phone, getting on a Zoom call, what have you. And then the final point would be to pressure the sale, but not in the way you think. This doesn't mean we're going to be pushy and try to force people to close, offering ridiculous discounts, but it would mean doing more follow-up. So we need to be following up more times, more consistently, because people are busy, especially business owners. So if we're a developer who wants a certain business as a client, we need to remind them, hey, let's push this project forward. Because for the clients, usually working with developers, as someone who's been on both sides and understands how both sides are thinking, when I have my business hat on, I'm not thinking about a new software project. And at the same time, when I have my developer hat on, I'm not thinking about business KPIs. I'm thinking about this thing is really cool and I just want to make this. But if you're able to cross that bridge back and forth really well, then you're going to connect to that other side, right? Obviously. So you need to help them to cross the bridge with you. You need to make sure that you understand what they need and why we should start it now so that it will be done sooner. Because for them, it's because they don't really understand usually what developers do. So you want to kind of pressure it to get done because this is a point of stress for them and they're just putting it off. They're pushing it off until later because it's a point of stress. So the reality is you're going to handle the majority of it anyways. So why not just help them to get it done and get it finished, because they need to get it done anyways. The longer they wait, the bigger a problem it becomes for them in the long term. So just help them to get it done. They will be happier with you because they'll know that you're taking charge, you're being responsible, you're removing the stress from their life. So do them a favor and push them to get it done. Another point, find a way to recycle what you're already doing and turn that into content. Now, I've been a software developer for 12 years. I've been a business owner for 7 years. I've been doing marketing for that same period of time, the 7 years. And yet, how much content do I have up online? Not very much. So wouldn't it have been much better if I would have just done very basic content, but on a regular basis for that entire period of time, putting something up every day, every other day, even every week? How much content would I have up over that large period of time? An absurd amount. Here's an example for you. If you're a software developer and you're freelancing, you could just film time lapses of you working on the computer. So you don't have to do anything extra except set up a camera on the side of your desk, let it record you, make a time lapse. And then at the end of the day, you quickly watch the time lapse and make notes of what you did that day. Don't overthink it. Literally just make it like it was notes to yourself. Of course, redacting anything too confidential for the client or whatever, and make that the caption. Imagine if I would have done that for every software project I've done over 12 years or every business interaction I had over this entire time. I would have so much content. I'd be so much further ahead. Don't make my mistake. Start now. Get your content out there. Even if it doesn't get you more clients, it gives you more authority as somebody who's established in the space. Think of it. One person might say, I've been a developer for 12 years. I've been in business for 12 years. The other person might say it and have video of the entire 12 years. Which one do you automatically trust more? Probably the one with the content for 12 years, because now it's not just words that they said that you believe. It is video evidence of them doing the act. So you don't even need to be a client of theirs for that entire time. You've seen them do it. You know that they can do it, right? You just inherently trust them more because they have the content out there. So take advantage of that. Take advantage of how easy it is. You don't need to even be marketing in this content. You don't need to make any of these posts like an ad, because it doesn't come comfortably to most people to like self-promote. It doesn't come comfortably to me either. But if you just do that and you don't even promote yourself, people will just want to follow you and will trust your business or you at your craft. Another example of how you could do this is if you're a business owner, and it's along the same lines, so excuse my lack of creativity, but if you're a business owner, you could do a daily debrief where at the end of your day, instead of sitting down and journaling, which some people do, but if you do that, then that's also good. But this idea is you can do a talking head video just explaining what you did that day and why. This practice of review won't just help you to get content out there and maybe grow your business, but it will also help to make sure that you aren't getting stuck in the day-to-day without actually thinking about what you're doing and whether it's heading in the right direction. Is it going to achieve your long-term goal? So the note for both of these examples is don't worry about having a fancy setup. Many of the greats didn't start out with a fancy desk or a monitor or offices. They stood out just by being consistent and putting something up. Think, Alex Hormozi, Becker, Sam Ovens. These people are legendary internet marketers, and yet some of Alex Hormozi's first videos are in 360p, and the videos were made 3 years ago. We definitely had at least 1080p cameras, if not 4K, 8K. I'm pretty sure we had 8K already. So there isn't really a reason why the videos needed to be that bad, and yet it worked fine for him. So don't worry too much about it. Just the person with 1,000 videos up over 10 years, even if they're not that great a quality, will have to try really hard to make their videos bad enough to not gain a following. They'll have to literally not think at all about improving their content, not improving the quality of their service, not making anything better to not grow over that period of time. But anyway, guys, that's all that I have for today. So I just wanted to get this out to you. I'm trying to make more videos more consistently. So please let me know what you thought of this. If any of these tips helped you, or there's anything related to these that you'd like to know more about. I'm making content for software developers, business owners, and marketers, because that is what I am. If you fall into any one or all three of these categories, please let me know and feel free to subscribe. That's all. Thank you.